There is a place on our planet where the world feels both ancient and new, a land of dramatic mountains plunging into deep fjords, where the air is crisp and every breath feels like a reminder of how wild and untamed the earth can be. Here the landscape is a living memory shaped by ice and time, echoing with stories of explorers and the quiet resilience of those who call it home. This is a place where the sun vanishes for months, surrendering the land to a long, mysterious night, and where the northern lights reign, painting the sky with colors that seem almost otherworldly. The darkness is not empty but alive with shimmering green and violet, a silent symphony that stirs the soul. This is the Arctic Circle in Norway, a realm that sits at the edge of the familiar, where daily life is shaped by the extremes of nature and the rhythm of the seasons. I long to experience life at the top of the world, not as a passing visitor, but as a neighbor to the ice and endless sky. I wanted to understand what it means to live in a place where the horizon stretches on forever, and where the silence is as profound as the beauty. My goal was simple, yet daunting, to follow the seasons in a full circle from the polar night's enveloping darkness, when the world seems to pause and reflect, to the midnight sun's endless day, when time blurs and the sun never truly sets, bathing the land in a golden dreamlike glow. I wanted to witness the transformation, to see how people and nature adapt to these extremes. I wanted to find the warmth of community, to share stories and laughter in the glow of a cabin, to witness the contrasts that define life here, harshness and hospitality, solitude and togetherness. And most of all, I wanted to let this place change me, to slow down, to listen, to reflect on what it means to belong somewhere so remote, yet so full of life and wonder. With anticipation and a suitcase packed with woolly jumpers and thick socks, I set out to answer the northern call. Each layer of clothing was a promise to embrace the cold, to step into the unknown with open eyes and an open heart. This is the story of that year, a love letter to Norway's stark beauty, its resilient people, and the lessons learned from a land that demands respect and rewards curiosity. It is a journey through isolation and connection, through darkness and light. It is about the magic found when we step into the unknown, when we let ourselves be shaped by a place and its people, and when we discover that the greatest adventures often begin with a single brave step. Come along and see the world from the very top of our beautiful planet. Let the North whisper its secrets to you, as it did to me, and perhaps you'll find a piece of yourself in its wild embrace. My adventure began with a flight north, gazing out the window as the world below shifted dramatically. The lush, rolling green fields gradually gave way to Norway's wild, rugged coastline, where the land seemed to tumble into the sea. Each passing mile felt like a step further from the familiar and closer to the unknown. The anticipation in the cabin was almost tangible, as if everyone on board sensed we were heading somewhere extraordinary. Landing in a small northern city, I was greeted by air so crisp and invigorating it felt like a fresh start. The scent of pine trees mingled with the salty tang of the nearby sea, instantly awakening my senses. The town was quiet, almost sleepy, but there was a certain energy in the way the locals moved. Bundled up against the cold, yet quick to smile at a newcomer. It was a place where nature and community seemed to exist in perfect harmony. The final leg of my journey was by coastal ferry, a vessel that felt both sturdy and welcoming as it cut through the icy waters. We glided through majestic fjords, their steep cliffs rising dramatically on either side, passing by tiny fishing villages that clung to the shoreline. Snow-dusted mountains loomed in the distance, their peaks shrouded in mist, creating a landscape that was both harsh and breathtakingly beautiful. The rhythm of the waves and the hum of the engine became a soothing soundtrack to this northern odyssey. On board, I found myself surrounded by locals who welcomed me with open arms and genuine curiosity. A fisherman, his face weathered by years at sea, pointed out hidden landmarks along the coast, sharing stories of storms and midnight sun. Nearby, a mother poured steaming coffee from a thermos, offering advice on how to dress for the Arctic winter and survive the long, dark nights. Their warmth and generosity made the ferry feel less like a means of transport, and more like a moving community. Their kindness was a comforting blanket against the chill, a reminder that in this remote part of the world, human connection is as vital as warm clothing. Conversations flowed easily, laughter echoing above the sound of the wind. Even in the coldest places, it's the people who bring warmth and make you feel at home. As evening fell, the ferry approached my new home, a small cluster of golden lights nestled beneath a vast snow-covered mountain. The village looked peaceful, almost magical, as dusk settled over the landscape. It was perfectly tucked away from the rest of the world, a place where time seemed to slow down, and nature reigned supreme. Stepping onto Arctic ground for the first time, I was struck by the profound silence. The only sounds were the gentle lapping of water against the shore, and the distant calls of seabirds. The air was so clear and cold it almost stung, but it also felt incredibly pure. In that moment, I realized just how far I'd come, and how much further I had yet to go. The long journey was finally over, but as I looked out over the snowy village and the endless Arctic landscape, I knew the real adventure was just beginning. Living a year in the Arctic would be a test of endurance, curiosity, and adaptability. A chance to discover not just a new place, but a new way of life. I took a deep breath of the cold, pure air and smiled, feeling a mix of excitement and nervous anticipation. I was ready to embrace the unknown, to learn from the land and its people, and to let the Arctic shape me in ways I couldn't yet imagine. The polar night, or Morkadid, arrived gradually, a slow farewell to the sun that felt both gentle and profound. Each day the sun lingered a little lower on the horizon, its golden rays stretching across the snow for just a few precious moments before slipping away. The world seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the last light to fade. As days faded into a perpetual twilight, the landscape transformed into a realm of soft shadows and muted colors. The air grew colder, and the silence deepened, broken only by the crunch of footsteps on snow or the distant call of a raven. The sky blushed with pinks and blues, the world bathed in the blue hour, before darkness settled in. This magical time, when the sun's memory lingered just below the horizon, painted the snow in delicate pastels and made the ordinary seem enchanted. Yet, the Arctic night was never truly black. Snow reflected moon and starlight, casting a silvery glow for miles. Even in the deepest hours, the landscape shimmered, as if the earth itself was quietly illuminated from within. Homes became sanctuaries of candlelight and warmth. Behind frosted windows, families gathered, sharing laughter and stories, their faces aglow in the gentle light. The contrast between the cold, vast night outside and the cozy interiors made every moment indoors feel precious. The true queen of the night was the aurora borealis, ribbons of green and purple dancing silently overhead, breathtaking every time. The aurora would appear without warning, swirling and shifting, a living painting across the sky that left us all in awe, no matter how many times we witnessed it. Locals would simply say, "The lady is dancing tonight." It was a phrase spoken with reverence and delight, a reminder that even in the darkest season, nature offered moments of pure wonder. The polar night taught me to cherish every glimmer of light, from a neighbor's window to the flicker of a candle. Each small glow became a beacon, a symbol of hope and connection in the vast winter darkness. It was a time for stories, friendship, and deep peace. Gathered around fires, we shared memories and dreams, finding comfort in each other's company as the world outside slumbered beneath its snowy blanket. Far from depressing, the darkness was calming and beautiful, a chance to slow down and marvel at the Arctic's starlit majesty. The silence and stillness invited reflection, and I found a new appreciation for the quiet beauty of winter nights. In the heart of winter, I learned to see in the dark, to find beauty in the shadows, and to embrace the kingdom of stars that watched over us all. After months of darkness, anticipation for the sun's return filled the community. On Soldigen, the village gathered, faces turned south, waiting for that first golden sliver above the mountains. When sunlight finally appeared, even for a few minutes, a spontaneous cheer erupted, pure collective joy. That first touch of sun was unforgettable, a promise of life returning. Each day the sun lingered longer, transforming the snow into sparkling diamonds and waking the landscape from its slumber. People spent more time outdoors, energized by the light. The return of the sun was more than an end to darkness. It was a celebration of resilience and a joyful welcome to spring. Nature's cycles felt deeply personal here. As the days lengthened, the midnight sun arrived, 24 hours of golden light, night vanishing into endless day. Time became fluid. Hikes at midnight, children playing in the soft glow, and birds singing through the night felt perfectly normal. The world pulsed with energy. Fjords shimmering and mountains glowing under the perpetual sun. People embraced the light, kayaking at 2 a.m., barbecuing on the beach and soaking up every moment. Blackout curtains helped with sleep, but most chose to live fully in the light. Wildflowers exploded in color, and wildlife thrived in the urgent short summer. The midnight sun was a season of celebration, adventure, and connection with nature at its most vibrant. It was the perfect counterbalance to the polar night. Life in the Arctic is defined by these beautiful extremes. Beyond the dramatic light, the true heart of Arctic life is its warmth, found in community and cherished traditions. The philosophy of Kosalig, coziness, contentment, and simple joys, shapes daily life. Christmas transforms villages into twinkling wonderlands, while midsummer brings bonfires and songs under the midnight sun. Fishing and outdoor skills are second nature, and people embrace the challenges of snow and ice with calm competence. Community is everything. Neighbors help each other, share food, and gather for coffee and waffles. In this vast, remote place, togetherness is survival and joy. The warmth of human connection is the Arctic's brightest light. It's what makes life at the top of the world truly wonderful. The Norwegian Arctic teems with life, sea eagles soaring above fjords, porpoises, and whales surfacing in summer waters. Watching a humpback whale up close, hearing its breath echo across the fjord, was humbling and unforgettable. On land, reindeer roam freely, their antlers silhouetted against the polar night, a living symbol of Arctic resilience. The Sami people's herds move with the seasons, perfectly adapted to the cold. Arctic foxes and ptarmigans camouflaged in white dart across the snow, adding magic to the landscape. Every encounter, big or small, felt special, a reminder of the wild heart of this place. Sharing space with these creatures deepened my respect for the land. The Arctic's biodiversity is a quiet wonder, best seen by those who slow down and look closely. These moments of connection were among the year's greatest gifts. Life in the Arctic is a dance of extremes. Biting cold, deep darkness, endless light. The cold demands preparation, but brings the reward of cozy homes and deep, restorative sleep. The polar night can sap energy, while the midnight sun makes sleep elusive. Adapting to these cycles is essential. Yet every challenge is matched by a greater charm, the beauty of snow, the magic of the aurora, the energy of endless day. Locals don't just endure, they embrace, finding joy in what outsiders might see as hardship. Resilience, resourcefulness, and a deep respect for nature are the true lessons here. The challenges forge strong communities and a profound connection to the seasons. In the Arctic, obstacles become teachers, shaping a unique and rewarding way of life. The extremes are not just survived, they are celebrated. As my Arctic year ended, I left with gratitude and a changed perspective. This land of night and day, fire and ice taught me about resilience, community, and the beauty of simplicity. Travel is more than seeing new places. It's about feeling, learning, and letting the world change you. Every journey, near or far, expands our hearts and minds. I urge you, keep your curiosity alive, seek new horizons, and let the world be your teacher. As I sailed away, I promised to never stop exploring, to carry the spirit of the Arctic, its peace, resilience, and beauty, wherever I go. I hope my story inspires your own adventures. Let's keep exploring the wonders of our planet together.